So for the final videos, we will talk a little bit about what audiophile and music lover always love about Burmester products is the electronics, and especially for their look as well. So at the front plate, you see the finish itself is almost like glass. You can see yourself inside of it. Always mesmerizing and capturing looks as well. Obviously, for most people, they don't know about this aluminum, but they don't know about the chrome plating, how it's made. So can you share a little bit about the information that how can this piece so beautiful?
Okay, so first of all, as you said, a Burmester product is often identifiable by the conjunction of aluminum and chrome. Chrome in the front, there are quite a few people who go like, oh, this is a bit bling, it's a bit flashy. But in fact, when it's in your home, it reflects what's in your room. So it just kind of disappears. It blends completely in your home interior because of the mirror-like appearance of that chrome. Secondly, in terms of how we do this, we work with a German company that's been doing chrome plating for generations, literally. And the chrome finish that we use is the thickest quality of chrome we can have, and it's polished to a mirror like this by someone in our team who's specialized in doing that. That's
so it's only one or two person handling all this job.
Exactly. So yes, that is how it comes about. In some of the newer products, in the 232 integrated amp that we will be launching at the end of the year, we're slowly replacing chrome with a mirror.
Oh, actually a mirror?
Yes, with the display behind it, and that's for environmental reasons, because chrome is becoming forbidden in Europe more and more.
Yes, for the EU regulation as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the technical as well. This is a very technical question. I think that someone out there might appreciate it, especially for Burmester as well, because Burmester always known for their X amps. And now even the third generation XM3 or XM3. So what people don't understand is what it is and how is it differ from like an XM3 to the traditional op amp that appear everywhere in audio products, from high-end to consumer. Everywhere you can see an op amps, but in Burmester, the XM3, and it's so versatile as well. It can act as the output stage for the DAC, and output stage for preamplifier, but also the gain stage, the voltage gain stage for the power amplifier there. It's so versatile. So can you share a little bit more about these XM3?
Yes, I can, but I'm going to have to limit the amount of information for intellectual property reasons behind it. So the XM3 is a three-stage discrete op-amp, an operational amplifier that is systematically used in the signal path of whatever machine it is implemented in. As you know, an op-amp can make or break a circuit. Low quality op-amps can be really, really bad, really, really terrible. They can really completely destroy a product. One of the things that I can tell you is that the XAMP modules, especially the XM3, there are a couple of principles behind them. First of all, one of them, which is really simple but really important, is that we shield it completely from its environment. And op-amps are particularly susceptible to their environment, to what's around them in terms of radiation from various sources. So we just enclose it, encapsulate it literally, so as to protect it from its environment, and that's an important point. Another point is that we have an extremely stringent process for selecting the components that go into the building of the XM3. So they are extremely selected components. And then after that, when the XM3 modules are built, They are, again, QC'd in a very stringent way, and we only keep the best of those modules. The others go for rebuilding and are retested after that. Once that is done, in a product like a 111, for example, where you have 6 units of that XM3 modules, they are matched as well from an electronic point of view. And that, in the end, gives you an Opamp that sounds way better than anything out there on the market.
If you look into the specification of the Burmester products, it's always very high slew rate, almost like unlike anything else on the market. And also, there's one aspect that, unlike anything else on the market, is the damping factor of the power amplifier. Because I think that Burmester is one of the only few can reach into the 1,000 of damping factor. And for people that don't know about damping factor, it essentially is the ability to control the woofer, the bass woofer or speaker as well. Can you tell me a little bit about why and how can Burmester achieve that such high number of damping factor?
Well, I won't go into how damping factor is calculated, but one of the 3 elements that you take into consideration is the output impedance of your amp. So basically, the lowest the output impedance of your amp, and the larger the damping factor. So that's really what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to have amplifiers that present as little output impedance as possible, so that we can control those bass drivers as much as possible. It is directly linked to to the way we design our circuits. That's really having really short signal paths, extremely high quality components. That's all of that. It's like a recipe, really. If you miss one of the ingredients, the end result won't work. So we really go for the extra mile in every compartment of each of our amps, and that's how we achieve those numbers that very few other manufacturers can achieve.
And let's talk a little bit about the newer power amp products on the market right now, especially the new 216 and 218. Obviously, in today's offline, that impressed a lot of people, visitors as well. And can you share a little bit with our audience as well that what is the difference between the current generation from the aesthetic standpoint and technology standpoint compared to the previous generation?
The 216 and the 218 had a very difficult job to do. Their job was to replace the 911, which was an icon, really a classic for Burmester, and that we'd been producing in different iterations for about 30 years. So it was, we really couldn't miss that product. And we have a rule at Burmester: if we can make a product that's better, we just don't put it on the market. So it was quite a lot of work. What we did is that we directly implemented what we learned from the design work we did on the 159, those 2 mono blocks that we have at the top of the signature line. So we did a lot of work on the power supply itself, on the power modules, and on heat dissipation. You can really measure how heat dissipation affects your amplifier. A cool amplification module, a reasonably cool amplification module, performs much better. So we did a lot of work on that, designing new heat sinks and designing new ways to drive the heat to all the parts of the amplifier, not only on the sides or on the top, but everywhere, all around, so that the temperature actually drops quite dramatically inside the amplifiers, and they perform better. We get more power. Those amps with the new power supplies have a better signal to noise ratio, and that really, you can really hear it. You get that pitch black background for the music to start from, and they have a quicker rise rate as well. Yes. So they're really an improvement over the previous generation. They are. Cosmetically speaking, their shape and the way they're designed is directly derived from that need we had to dissipate heat.
Yes. And thank you. That's all for today's interview. And I'm very thankful for you being with us today. And also, I have to thank Aptronics and Hi-Fi Live for providing the audio file through the workshop for today as well. And thank you so much for doing interview with us.